what the answer should be. Okay? Now, next problem. Number 6. In problem number 6, they're saying if R and S are two solutions of the equation above, R is greater than S, which of the following is the value of R minus S? See, this problem, guys, and please pay attention to this problem. If you've been, kind of sleepy, wakey, because one of these is going to be on the quiz tomorrow, okay? So why is that? Because this is something that you were supposed to have learned in Algebra 1, but many teachers don't go into that in Algebra 1. So therefore, I'm going to teach you how to get the solution for something like this, okay? So this is a problem where you have to factor, okay? So to solve this, the solution for this quadratic equation, what you need to do is you first copy the problem. 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals to 0. Then what you can do, and this is factoring, and we call it trial and error. Okay, you're going to learn like 3-4 methods in Algebra 2, but I'm just going to show you this for right now, okay? So the way you can do this is you factor the 2. Which two numbers, when you multiply them, is equal to 2? 2 times 1, but also it could be 1 times 2, right? And then you go to the last number. What are the factors of 15? 3 and 5, but also 5 and 3, and also 1 and 15. 15 times 1, right? And now, once you get your factors of the first coefficient and the last constant, the last number, what you need to do is you're going to multiply the outside number with the outside number, just like in FOIL method. You know how it's first, outer, inner, last? Well, we're going to focus on the outer and the inner. You multiply the outside number. How much is 5 times 2? 10. And then you multiply the inner numbers. And this number right here, if the last number it's a negative, you're going to have to subtract the product, and you're going to have different signs. Different signs. Okay? So if it's a negative, you subtract, you're going to have different signs. What do you think is going to happen if you have a plus at the end? Well, you're going to add, and instead of having different signs, you're going to have the same sign. What type of sign? Well, whatever the sign is, both factors are going to have that sign, okay? So you factor it out. So when you multiply, 5 times 2 is 10, and 1 times 3 is 3. When you subtract the 10 and the 3, would that give you the 7? Yes. So those are the factors. You put 2 sets of parentheses. The 2 and the 1 go on the first position, and that would be with an x. Why is that? Well, because you need 2x squared. 2x times x, is that 2x squared? Yes. And now the 3 and the 5 are the last two positions, okay? So 3 first, and then 5 next. And we said that what type of signs are we going to have here? Different signs. So the last, see the outer, 5 times 2 is supposed to be 10. And 3 times 1 is supposed to be 3x. 3 times x is 3x. So what sign should I put with the 5 and the 2 so that this is positive and this is negative? Well, I should have, what with the 5? What sign? A positive, right? And what about with the 3? What sign should I have with the 3? A negative. And now that I have my factors, remember what I said about factoring equal to 0 when you have two factors equal to 0? Zero product property. The zero product property says the first factor, which is 2x minus 3, that is equal to 0. X plus 5, that is equal to 0. Let's solve for the first one. How do I solve for the first one? What do I do to solve for x here? Move the 3, so it's a plus 3. So 2x equals 3, and then divided by 2, so that would be 3 halves. So x equals 3 halves. What about the second one? Negative 5. So x is equals to negative 5. Now I go back to the problem and it says r is supposed to be the biggest of the two. S is the smallest. So which is the biggest of these two? No. Isn't it 3 halves positive bigger than negative 5? Right? Okay, so then r is supposed to be 3 halves. So I'm going to go ahead and follow this. R minus S. So R minus S is going to be R minus S. So it's going to be 3 halves minus 5. What is negative and negative? That is positive. So 3 halves plus 5. But you know what? This is halves. How many halves would you have in 5 chocolates? Let's think about chocolate. How many halves if you have 5 chocolates? 10. That's right. So instead of 5, I'm going to say this is just 10 halves. So what is 3 halves plus 10 halves? 13 halves. And that was the answer. Okay, so expect something like this on the quiz tomorrow, guys. What is that? Right? No. And the thing is that since they don't present it in Algebra 1, many teachers don't cover that. You have no clue. Okay, how about for number 7? Questions in number 7. No? Did you do okay in number 7, guys? Yes? You got it wrong? Okay, what you need to do here, you need to follow the instructions where it says Alan, so this is Alan's equation. He charges $15 plus $8.50 per hour. And then Taylor would be $12 plus $9.25 times the number of hours. And then over here at the bottom it says, if x represents the number of hours, what are all the values of x? So after the comma, underline, because that's what you need to answer. So answer the question asked, please, okay? So what are the x values for which Taylor is greater than Allen's? So Taylor, 9.25x plus 12 is greater than Allen's, which is 8.5x plus 15. Okay, so now let's just solve for x. How would you solve for x in this problem? What do you move first? What do you move first? The 8.5, because that's the smallest x. You first combine x's, you move the smallest x. So subtract $8.50 from $9.25. 75 cents. So it's 75 cents. 75 cents. And next, what do I do to leave the x by itself? What should I do next? Move the 12. We move it with the opposite of positive 12, which is negative 12. So $15 minus 12. Is that 3? Now that 0.75, let me make that into just quarters. How many quarters is in 75 cents? 3. So I'm doing this just so that I can make the problem easier. How do I get rid of the 3/4? Multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction, isn't it? Because this is a no calculator part, you want to do it with, easy numbers. So you multiply by the reciprocal so you can cancel the 4s, you cancel the 3. So x is, what can you do here to simplify that? Cross the 3 out, and that would be 4. So x is greater than 4, which is A. Okay.